In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do a double crochet. So if you are a beginner to crocheting, I would recommend watching my previous tutorial where I show you how to create the chain stitch and the single crochet. You would definitely want to learn the single crochet before you move on to learn any new crochet stitches. So if you are familiar with the single crochet or have watched my previous video on how to do the chain stitch and the single crochet, then let's go ahead and show you how to do the double crochet today. I've created this tutorial for a beginner who's new to crocheting. I do have a previous video where I do teach you how to do the double crochet, but I did use a 4-ply worsted weight yarn, which is a average size yarn. It's much thinner than the one I'm using today. The one that I chose to show you in this tutorial is a thicker, super chunky weight yarn, and I wanted to use this to show a beginner because when you're first learning, it can be hard to see the detail on some of the tutorial videos. So because you would be a beginner, I wanted to use the larger one because then it will show the stitches. They'll be enlarged, they'll be easier to see, show greater detail, and I thought it would be much easier and clearer to see the individual stitches. So let me go ahead and get started on showing you how to do the double crochet. So what you want to do first, before you can begin, you have to have your slip knot. So let's go ahead and create the slip knot. So I've shown you this before in other tutorials, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make one very easily. Go ahead and start with it laying on the table. Go ahead and pick up the end of it and just wrap it around until you've created a circle on your table surface. And then when the yarn crosses over right here, then just pick that up slightly with your left hand. Just pick it up on into your hand, but not all the way up because you want to leave the loop still on the table surface. And then with your right hand, go ahead and put your index finger and your thumb through that circle. Grab onto the tail and hold on and don't let go of it. And then with your left hand, grab the tail of yarn and the yarn that's still attached to your yarn ball and hold on to those with your left hand while you pull the loop through with your right hand. Pull it all the way through that circle to create your slip knot. Okay, so now let's go ahead and insert our hook into our slip knot and just adjust it down to the right size to begin our chain stitches. So before we can begin to show you the double crochets, we have to have our foundation row. So let's go ahead and make some chains. So do yarn over, pull that through to create your chain. Do yarn over towards you, pull that through the loop to create your chain. Okay, let's show you again. Yarn over, and then hold the work in place right underneath the hook by pinching it between your index finger and your thumb. That helps stabilize your work. It also allows you to move it to left to right. As you glide it towards the yarn over towards the hook, you want to turn the hook downward so that yarn over doesn't slip off, and pull it right through that loop to create your chain. Okay, so do a yarn over. And we're going to pull that yarn over right through that loop to create the chain stitch. Okay, do yarn over again, pull it through. Okay, do yarn over. We're going to pull the yarn over through the loop and create our chain stitch. Okay, let me show you again. Yarn over, pull the yarn over through the chain. There you go. Do a yarn over, pull the yarn over through the loop to create your chain. Okay, let's do another one. Yarn over, pull the yarn over through the loop to create your chain stitch. Alright, let's go ahead and stop here. I'm going to show you the individual stitches. So now if you look at the chain stitch, you can see that they look like interlocking V's that are stacked on top of each other. Those are the individual chain stitches. So let's go ahead and count how many we have so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. So let's go ahead and begin our first row of double crochet. Okay, so what you're going to do is, with single crochet, we skip the first chain closest to the hook. With double crochet, we're going to skip the first 3 chains closest to the hook. We'll begin our work into the 4th chain. So with the single crochet, you actually insert the hook into the chain first, and then work your single crochet. With the half double crochet, which I had shown you in the video prior to this, half double crochet, you skip the first 2 chains and begin your work in the third. And with the half double crochet, you do a yarn over, insert it into the chain, you do a yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Well, the half double crochet is different. You're going to skip the first 3, do a yarn over towards you, and then insert it into the 4th chain from your hook, yarn over and pull the yarn over through until you have 3 loops on your hook. Okay? So if this was a half double crochet, you'd do a yarn over and pull off all 3 loops. But with the double crochet, you're going to do a yarn over, you're going to pull the first 2 loops off and leave this last one still on your hook. So just pull it through the first 2 loops, and then you'll have 2 loops again on your hook, yarn over, and pull the yarn over through the last 2 loops. And that completes your double crochet. Okay, let me show you again. Yarn over, then insert it into the next chain. Do a yarn over, pull the yarn over through that chain until you have 3 loops on your hook. Do a yarn over and pull the yarn over through the first 2 loops, leaving the last loop still remaining on the hook. So go ahead and we'll pull the yarn over through the first 2 loops, leaving this last one, and then you will have 2 loops on your hook. Go ahead and do a yarn over, pull the yarn over through the last 2 loops, and that completes your double crochet. Let me show you again. Yarn over towards you, insert the hook into the chain, do a yarn over, pull the yarn over through the chain until you have 3 loops on your hook, and then you'll do a yarn over towards you again. You're going to take the yarn over and pull it through the first 2 loops, leaving this last one still on the hook. Now you'll have 2 loops on your hook. Do a yarn over and pull that yarn over through both loops to complete your double crochet. Okay, let me get some more working yarn here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do the next one. So do a yarn over, pull the yarn over, do a yarn over, put the needle into the chain, pull the yarn over through until you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull this yarn over through the first 2 loops, leaving the last one still remaining on your hook, and then you'll have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull the yarn over through those 2 loops to complete your double crochet. Okay, let's do another one. Yarn over, insert the hook into the next chain, and remember I showed you in a previous tutorial in the single crochet where on the back there's those back bumps. You want to make sure that you're inserting the hook right above that, so that way you only have 1 strand on your hook. If when you insert it you see 2 strands on there, that means you've inserted underneath that back bump. So just make sure that when you insert the hook into the chain that you only have 1 strand of yarn at that point, right there. Okay, so do yarn over and pull that yarn over through that chain until you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, and you're going to pull the yarn over through the first 2 loops, leaving this last one remaining on your hook. Then you'll have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull the yarn over through both loops to complete your double crochet. Okay, we have 1 more stitch, and someone who's new to crocheting might think that we're done, but there's 1 more. You can tell because it sticks out a little too far, and you can always count your stitches so to make sure how many you're supposed to have. Okay, so let's do a yarn over, insert it into the next chain, yarn over and pull it through until you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, and we're going to pull the yarn over through both loops, leaving this last one still on. Then you'll have 2 loops. Do a yarn over, pull the yarn over through the 2 loops to create your double crochet. So there's our first row of double crochet. So we are now ready to begin a second row. So we need to turn our work. the tail right now is on the left side, so when we turn our work, it will be on our right side. So now, to begin our second row, we need to bring the height of the second row up to the same height of the first row. So what we need to do is we need to create chain stitches to bring it to that height. So with the single crochet, you would chain 1 for your turning chain. For half double crochet, you chain 2. With double crochet, we chain 3 for our turning chain. So yarn over, pull it through, chain 1, yarn over, pull it through, it's 2 chains, yarn over, and that's our third chain. And that is called our turning chain, which is going to count as our first stitch. So that will count as our first double crochet of the second row. So instead of inserting the hook back into this stitch, we'll be working into the next one. So do a yarn over, and don't insert it into the first one, because that turning chain is going to count as the first stitch. Insert it into the next stitch. And you want to make sure that when you insert it, that you have both the front and back loop that you've inserted under both loops, and then you'll do a yarn over and pull it through the stitch until you have your 3 loops on the hook. Okay, yarn over, and we're going to pull the yarn over through the first 2 loops, leaving this last one still on our hook. Now you will have 2 loops on your hook. Do a yarn over and pull that yarn over through both loops to create your double crochet. Okay, I just have to get some more working yarn. One moment. Alright, there we go. So now, let's go ahead and do yarn over, insert it into the next stitch, yarn over and pull it through until you have your 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull that yarn over through the first 2 loops, leaving this last one still on your hook. Then you'll have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull it through these 2 loops to create your double crochet. I'm going to show you again. Yarn over, insert it into the next stitch, making sure that when you insert it under both the front and the back loop. You'll do the yarn over, pull it through the stitch until you have your 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull the yarn over through the first 2 loops, leaving this last one still on the hook. Then you will have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull that yarn over through those 2 loops, and that completes your double crochet. Okay, yarn over, insert it into the next stitch, and then pull that yarn over through the stitch until you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull the yarn over through those 2 loops, leaving this last one on. Then you will have 2 loops. Yarn over and pull it through the next 2. And that completes your double crochet. Okay, let's do yarn over, insert it into the next stitch, pull up a loop. So you have 3 loops now on your hook. Yarn over and pull the yarn over through the first 2 loops, leaving this last one still on your hook. Okay. Then you will have 2 loops. Yarn over and pull that through those 2, and that completes your double crochet. So we have completed 2 rows of double crochet. I hope that you found the tutorial helpful today. If you did, I hope that you will consider subscribing to my channel. That way you'll get a notification next time I upload a video. And thank you for watching today. And